Hello, folks, and welcome to the Relationship Builders Customize Your Love Life series. We wanted to talk a little bit today about how do you know when someone's not that interested in you? How can you tell when someone is maybe pretending to like you or maybe just doesn't know how to tell you that they're really not feeling you that much? All right, so, some of the tips that I would say is to really pay attention to how you feel. Right? If you're kind of getting a sense that they don't like you, that's a pretty good clue. What would you add to that, Bobby?
I mean, there's a whole lot of things to look out for. You know what I mean? And another thing you can feel is the energy too, right? And people, one thing like I always said, lie. The mouth would lie, but your energy doesn't lie, right? So sometimes somebody when you can know somebody's not into you is try to get close to them and see how they react.
Good point.
Because if you're not into somebody and they're close to you, you're gonna try to give yourself space because you don't feel comfortable with them around. So one of the best thing I say is get close and see what the response is. And get means you don't have to go hug them up or grab them up, but just sit close to them or try to get close to them and see how they respond. And if it's kind of standoffish or it seems like they're uncomfortable, then that's true indicating that they're not feeling you, they're not liking you.
That's a really good point. So, those are two really strong ways to tell. If you're not really good on reading that kind of stuff, then maybe you could pay attention to, when you call them and, you want to spend time with them, how do they respond to you? Are they often saying, I'm busy, I don't have time, and you've asked them
and how they act when they are with you too. You know
right?
what I mean? If you take them on a date and they seem disinterested and they're just like not really there, then that could be an indication. And that's more not just one date, but over like a few days, because people can have an off day, right? So if they seem distant sometimes and it's the first date, watch it. You know what I mean? And then you can tell if it's just they're just not into you or they're just not having a good day.
Okay, true. As I was saying, so when we've asked them to go out and they're not interested or just they're making 1,000,001 excuses and you can't understand why this person never has the time to spend with you, they're sending you a message. It doesn't matter how interested you are or maybe they tell you all the right things. Yeah, of course I like you and yeah, don't worry, I'm just busy right now. And no, busy means I'm not interested.
Yeah, they like you, but they don't like you that much. So you have to read between the lines. Like I said, people can lie and say all sorts of crap, right? Straight up, you know what I mean? Because the mouth is made to lie and deceive, right? But like I said, there's certain things that don't lie, and the reason why it doesn't lie because man doesn't have any control over it, and what we don't have control over, we can't lie for us. So like I said, if you're getting close to somebody and they're not into you, they can tell you I love you and I'm feeling you, but if you're trying to get close and every time you get close, they're pulling off and they're not trying to be around you in the same place with you by your, like if they, you are getting caught with them in a place by just the two of you, they're gonna try to get away from that. They're gonna do everything possible to stay away from you and not make it so you and them are in a place by yourself, right? Because if they're fearful of you or for whatever reason they're not into you, they don't want to be caught dead with you in the same place alone. That's why if a girl is not interested in you, she's not coming to your house. She's not coming home.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
She will not want to go back to your crib because she don't want to be caught just you and her alone. Right. You never know what can happen. Right. So people, when they're not interested, they try not to. They're very distant. And they don't try to get involved in too much. And like you said earlier, there's 1,000,001 excuses why they can't come. They can't go on a date. They don't want to come to your place. They don't want to spend any time alone with you. It's just an indication that I am not into you. And if I'm into you, not in that way,
right.
More like a friend.
Yes.
And telling the guy if he's into you and you say you want to be a friend, it's like you're kicking him the nuts with a steel toe boot. That really, really hurts. Right? So at the end of the day, you have to know how to measure, because one of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to overstep your boundaries, right? You don't want to come on strong to somebody who's not into you.
Nope.
So it's very, very key and it's pivotal that when you're trying to meet somebody or get to somebody, get to know them first and know how they feel around you. And like I said, the best indicator is try to get close and see how they respond.
that's
Because that just never ever lies. If you don't feel comfortable around somebody, you don't want them to get close to you because you don't feel comfortable around them, right? And that's a really strong indicator that I am not interested in you. So main thing is when you're dealing with people, you want to know where you stand. Don't ask them because people lie all the time. Don't ask them. You know what I mean? Just
I know.
try
I
to
don't get the people who ask. Like,
well, I guess you're trying to be polite, but yeah, whatever, right? But the thing is, don't ask, you know what I mean, offer to take them out on dates. And ask them about, try to see if, you know, you can have them come over to your house. Hopefully, you're a man or a woman who have your own place. You're not still living at home with moms or something like that. But try to find alone time with them. You know, try to set the tone for some alone one-on-one time. Just me and you alone and see what the response is.
but question to you is this, right? So you meet a girl, she likes you because, you know, it's like, I liked you. Right? Maybe not
There's
right
different
away,
kind of
but,
likes,
but
right?
okay, I liked you right after we kind of hung out that day, and you said you got the vibe, you got the energy that I was feeling you, right? So you already knew, but I liked you, but I didn't want to come to your house like you because I'm not there with you yet. How do you at that point now? How do you get a sense because it took some work to kind of get me into your house?
But
Eventually, it worked.
you see, sometimes it doesn't have to be the house. You know what I mean? There's other places that you can meet up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me tell you something. When you start off with somebody, you start off generally you just cruise control unless the relationship is one of those crash and burn type relationship. Quick, get in the bed, do everything, and then done, right? Mm-hmm. But if it's a relationship that's time, then one of the main things you do is, like I said before, you do not meet somebody and meet a woman first and take her on a 5-star date. Take her to Tim Hortons. Because the reason why I said you need to do something like that is you really need to find out if that person is into you. You don't want to take them and take them on an expensive date and then you're not even into you. Because then you're just allowing yourself to get used.
Yes.
Because you're going to take her out or him out and blow their mind in this like lavish, you know, expensive date. And then at the end of the day, you don't even get a call back. And then when you call them back, they're giving it a runaround.
Yes.
So to avoid putting yourself in, because you know what, that piss a lot of people off and that burn a lot of people. You know, when they go through all that trouble and for certain guys or certain girls who are not really making that much money, they save a little something aside or whatever the case may be. You know, you don't want to blow it on somebody who doesn't give a damn. Right? So take them out to Tim Hortons. Take them to a place that doesn't even cost you a dime. Because let me tell you somebody, if somebody's into you, it don't matter where you take them, they might not go back a second time again, but you know, they will go nonetheless to really be with you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So once you know somebody is with you, then it's okay to say, okay, I'm going to spend this or I'm going to do that because, you know, it's worth your while. You're not doing it in vain. Right? So the main thing is, like I said, always try to really, you know, gauge that person and you and see what kind of relationship you have or communication you have within that time, that if they spend that time with you, and see if they're going to try to avoid you or get away from you. Because if that's the case, then you know where that stands already.
Yeah, so I agree with everything Bobby said. As a woman, if a guy is into me and I'm not really into him, I can say all the right words, but he's going to be able to tell from my energy because I'm going to pull back. I have no desire then to get close to him, and those are automatic responses. Those are natural human responses. So for people to fake that, unless they want something, some people are good at getting close and doing everything they have to do to convince you that they want something. And even at that point, if they do, they're going to pull back at some point. They're going to show you you have to come up for air at some point. You can only fake the funk so long.
But the thing is, you see, getting close to somebody, listen, you have to understand this. You can try and fake to get close to somebody, but you see, for a person that's in tune, they can know, because if the energy is very faint and it doesn't feel that strong, then you know that they're faking it.
Right.
They're not really
the average
into
Joe
you.
Doesn't know that. That's why a lot of these men and women are getting fooled.
But that's what I'm saying. Right? But that's what I'm saying. You have to consistently test somebody. Like I said, you don't test them once and then say, okay, you pass the test. There's a series of things that you have to be observative of when you're with a woman or a man that you want to be with. You know, you have to observe, you know, a lot. And like I said, it's not that serious. So it's not a scientific project or anything like that.
Well, that's what we show people how to do, right? So
yeah, but what it is, you know, over time, like I said, asking them out on dates, you know, see how they react when they're around you, right? What the date is like. Is a conversation flowing? is that vibe flowing? Are things flowing? If a day, it was just like, yeah, so how was your day? Fine. How was your day? Fine. Yes, nice. Oh yeah, thanks. You too. Yeah, thanks. Nothing is flowing. You know what it is just now you're fishing. But if you're fishing, you always have to know if they're fishing, because how you know when people are fishing is that you're asking questions. And based on the response of the answers, it tell you if that person is really into it and they're trying to fish and try to see if they can have a connection, right? If that person does not have a connection, it goes back to what I'm saying. You say to her, how are you doing today? I'm fine. And if they don't even say, and how are you, you don't know right there. It's just like, I don't even care. Because, you're asking me, how am I? I said fine. And I don't even ask you back how you're doing. That's an indication that, you know what? I could give a damn. Right? And also, you always, like I said, one of the things you have to make sure is, high contact body language. If the body language is on point, then you can work with it. But if somebody's not into you, no matter what, no matter how good of your game player you are, if they're not even setting the table for you to play the game, then there's no game to be played and it's done. Yeah. It's a wrap. Yeah. Right? So people don't give too much time if they're not really into you. But if they're into you, they would throw you breadcrumbs.
At least something to let you know.
Something.
I'm there with you. I'm in this with you.
Yeah, some trail so you can pick up on that.
Right. So, well, those are good points, So, really just pay attention and don't, again, not a one-time thing. Just watch them over a consistent period of time and see how they respond to you. Very telling. You can fake for some time, but not for too long. As I was saying earlier, people are going to come up for air and they are going to show their true colors. So if you're getting a sense, watch it for a while. You're unsure, just watch it for a while and it'll be very telling what they're really all about. So, anyway, thanks again for tuning in to the Relationship Builders Customize Your Love Life series. If you have any more questions or want to leave any comments for us, you can do so below, or please feel free to visit relationshipbuilderexclusive.com. We show people how to learn all these things or how to really be in tune with it, how to pay attention to body language, how to get a sense, how to read vibe, how to read energy. Those are the things that we show to our clients, because some people really just don't know. And to me, it's as clear as day, but not everybody can tell that. So if you need us, like I said, relationshipbuilderexclusive.com. And I guess we'll see you next time. All right. Thanks so much for your time.
There, but yeah, we'll see you again. Bye.
Bye for now.